Hi, I'm Don Carr, and this is the Electro-Harmonix Super Pulsar Stereo Tap Tremolo. Yes, that was a tremolo you heard in the intro. Dramatic pause. Okay, seriously, now that your jaw's off the floor, it's not a Leslie simulator, you are actually looking at the right video. Okay, so now that we've got that, to say that the Super Pulsar is a full-featured tremolo is quite an understatement. There's a lot under the hood here. So let's get in and take a look. For starters, we've got stereo ins and stereo outs. And you can run any configuration of that you want. I happen to be running mono in, single guitar, stereo out to 2 amps. So I recommend listening to this in stereo because you'll definitely get the best effect that way. And that's the way this pedal is the most versatile, and believe me, it is versatile. Okay, a quick tour of the big knobs across here. We've got a volume control, which is great for compensating, or overcompensating, depending on the sound you've got. You've got the right phase, which basically takes the right channel in and out of phase. You'll see how that comes into play. It's really huge. We've got different waves, and we've got different wave shapes, actually. And then you've got a depth control, and of course a rate control. The best way to show all the features on this pedal is just to play it. Set up sounds, twist knobs, let you hear what's going on. So I'm going to do just that with my trusty PRS 513 through a Fender Princeton Reverb amp and an Orange Crush 35 RT. So here it is bypassed. Good basic clean tone. And here it is with the Super Pulsar set up for like an optical trim kind of sound. I've got it sort of monoed, if that's a word, monoed, you know what I mean. Got it in mono, right? I've got both amps doing sort of the same thing. That's where this right phase knob comes into play. So I'll hit the trim and then I'll twist that knob and you can hear what it does. Right, there's your mono sound, and here's more stereo effect. This sound is more of an even pulse. I've changed the wave and I've changed the shape, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. See, there's an even amount of space with the break and with the actual note itself. And an interesting thing you can do with this is, again, with the stereo effect. Right now I've kind of got it set in a mono sound, and I will turn up the phase and you'll hear exactly what happens. Right, same kind of thing, sets it off 180 degrees. Another thing that's really cool is one of the other switches down here. This is actually the tap tempo switch, but another function that it has is it acts like a brake on a Leslie. So check this out. So it slows it down and speeds it back up. All you do is hold down on it, and when you're ready for it to speed back up, you let go. This next sound is more of a bias tremolo. It'll sound really familiar. It's like a, I think, American 60s combo amp kind of tremolo sound. And again, I've got that in mono, and here's roughly the same thing in stereo. This next sound is really percussive. That's the best way to describe it. I've changed the shape and the wave, and you can hear what it does. Right, we've got shorter notes and longer space. And again, that's in mono, and here it is in stereo. Very interesting. Right, it offsets side to side. I'm going to go back to mono, and what I want to demonstrate now is the tap divide button. I've tapped that tempo in that you're hearing. That's a quarter note, and you can see here on tap divide we've got a dotted eighth. And the next one is a triplet. Eighth note. Eighth note triplet. Sixteenth note. And finally, with all the lights on, you have a 32nd note. Okay, this is one of the spots where this pedal gets really deep. If you take the wave knob and turn it past the wave shapes, you get into something called rhythm. You can see that right there. You have 9 different rhythm patterns that you can program into this, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. This is pretty interesting. You see that you've seen the lights going back and forth, and that's the rate of the tremolo. Well, you can see that some of these lights are out. That means that those pulses are silent. So let me give you that sound. And right now, I'm also using the expression pedal input, and I've got it set to the phase, which we've been messing with the phase, so you know what that does. So now I'm going to have the phase all the way down because I'm heel back, right? So here is just a rhythm pattern, and again, you can create your own rhythm patterns, but here's the rhythm pattern that actually came in the unit. Right, so you can hear that's a really cool, useful thing. It creates musical ideas instantly. And as you change the phase, you'll hear that it actually changes the pattern because you're getting that stereo effect again. So speaking of the expression pedal, that's what I was also using in the intro to slow it down and speed it up. I had it actually set on rate. You can also see that you can set it to control the depth or the shape. Like I said, in this case, I was using it to control phase, or you can use it to control volume. Very cool. And it's a standard TRS expression pedal input. I'm actually using the Electro-Harmonix expression pedal. Okay, you're going, what in the world is that? I actually called that sound stereo slowdown. The way you get that is through these 2 little guys up here at the top. They're very small, but they're very effective. It's the envelope depth and the envelope rate. What that basically means is that it's touch sensitive. The rate of the tremolo is dependent on how hard you play. That's why when I was playing harder, it was going faster and then slowing down. And when I was playing softer, it wasn't speeding up as much. So that backwards guitar sounding, volume swell sounding thing was actually just the tremolo doing all the work. That's a function of the wave invert switch. That actually just flips the wave 180 degrees. Again, you can do that with the knob, but if you do that with the switch, it's a different feel slightly. So more tweakability. Again, this thing is really tweaky. So let's take a look at the last few functions on this pedal. You've got 8 presets that you can store. It will remember everything on the face. Now the knobs don't move, but you know what preset number you're in by the light, which is pretty cool. So you hold down the mode preset button, right? Now we are entered into preset mode. And we're going to scroll through some presets. See, we are on preset number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are on preset number 6. And it sounds like this. And there's number 7. And here's number 8. Right, so you get the idea. There's also a jack on the side here that's called tap click in. And what that allows you to do is to plug in a 3-button foot switch, and you can control certain functions on the face. You can actually even assign which functions you want to control. All that's really detailed in the owner's manual, so you have to check that out. But it's very cool. And if you don't want to do that, you can also plug a clock into that. It will sync the rate of the Super Pulsar to an external clock source. So if you want them running together, and you want everything to sync up and lock together, it will accept it through there. Very cool. And for our last and final function, I have the X rate. And what that does is it takes the tempo up into hyperspeed. You can see the tempo right now. Here's one click of the X rate, and here's the other one. So it goes so fast that it has like a ring modulator kind of sound to it. And that's actually going to be the final sound. You're going to check that out. And I've also got the expression pedal hooked up to the rate control. So we're going to go back and forth between like a ring modulator sound and a tremolo sound. So that's it. So there you go, kids. The Super Pulsar stereo tap tremolo from Electro-Harmonix. If you have any questions about this or any other Electro-Harmonix product, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks.